This is Cory McCarthy, and welcome to a new episode of Fit, Formidable, and Fantastic. That's right. Go F yourself, and happy Friday. Now, I want to start off by saying that before I get into this is not a hate video. So if you think that's what I'm going to be embarking on here, well, you don't really know me that well, I guess, and it's not the purpose of this video. I just want to put that out there. But with the recent dad bod trend that's been sweeping social media, and I've done a video on it, obviously, and with the subsequent response that is being called the mom bod, as well as all manners of fit shaming, if you Google Maria Kang, for example, you'll see what I mean by that, and fat acceptance, if you Google Tyra Banks and fat acceptance movement for another example, you'll see what I mean by that. And having a hard look at where society is going physically and health-wise, it's basically right in fucking front of us. And I just felt the urge to do this video, based on all of that. And of course, probably more as well, but those are some key things. So, sure, it will probably piss some people off, not because I think that anything I'm going to say here is illogical, and as I said, this is not a hate video, but because the subject treads on and faces off against incredibly sensitive ground for a good majority of people. But first, I want to kick this episode off with some hard figures. Because, you know, I like my facts, and I'm going to come from that place. The CDC has referred to obesity as an epidemic, which, according to Merriam-Webster's, is affecting or tending to affect a disproportionately large number of individuals within a population, community, or region at the same time. End quotes. In 2011, the CDC remarked, in quotes, obesity is a national epidemic and a major contributor to some of the leading causes of death in the U.S., including heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and some types of cancer. We need to change our communities into places that strongly support healthy eating and active living. End quotes. Obesity is common, serious, and costly. In 2009 to 2010, more than one-third of U.S. adults, which is 35.7%, were obese. According to the U.S. Census Bureau in 2013, 23.3% of the U.S. population, which was 316,497,531 people, were under the age of 18, making the adult population approximately 242,753,606 people. And approximately 35.7% of them were obese. So that's approximately 86,663,037 adults that were considered obese just 2 years ago. That's a pretty big fucking number, I'd say. Now, what about adults who are just overweight but not obese, you may be asking? Well, according to the CDC, the percent of adults aged 20 and over who are overweight, including obesity, is 69%, and that's between 2011 and 2012. So if 35% are obese, 35.7% are obese, and 69% fall into the category of obese and overweight, then it's safe to say about 33% of U.S. adults are overweight, or roughly 80,836,951 people that just fall into the category of overweight. Now, let's go a little further here. Obesity now affects 17% of all children and adolescents in the United States. That's triple the rate from just one generation ago. So it ain't just adults. But what's worse about that figure is that children rely on adults, their parents. If children are suffering from rising obesity, it sounds like there's a large percentage of shitty fucking parenting going on. According to the World Health Organization, or the WHO, worldwide obesity has more than doubled since 1980. Yes, you heard that right, doubled. Worldwide. So we're not just talking about the U.S. now. In 2014, more than 1.9 billion adults 18 years and older were overweight. Of these 600 million of these, 600 million were obese. Again, that's world fucking wide. 600 million people obese worldwide. Now, 39% of adults age 18 and over were overweight in 2014, and 13% were obese. 42 million children under the age of 5 were overweight or obese in 2013. But most importantly, and this is something for all of you to swallow as we head deeper into this video, obesity is preventable, according to the WHO. I want to reemphasize that. Obesity is preventable. So what are my feelings? Now I'm going to start going about how I see this and what I think people can do. Trends like the dad bod or movements like fat acceptance or the ever-growing vitriol toward people who are fit, especially in social media, I feel that breeds complacency and condones poor dietary and exercise choices, and thus it perpetuates poor health. And furthermore, poor health outcomes like heart disease, stroke, diabetes, and some types of fucking cancer. I feel that some trends even sexualize poor health, especially in the case of the dad bod, or in the term BBW, for instance, which means big, beautiful woman. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not sitting here saying that anyone should be ashamed of their body. I am not aiming to insult people who are overweight or obese. See my previous disclaimer, it's not being a hate video. I am merely trying to make a point that perpetuating, especially through public acceptance or even idolization of poor dietary, exercise, and health choices is only adding fuel to the fire of a big fucking problem. So, yes, you should be proud of where you are in a given moment, and you should love yourself, but you should also keep aiming to change for the better, improve, never be complacent, and never give up. But be proud of where you are each step in the process, but don't settle. Love and respect yourself enough to make wise dietary choices, to get ample physical exercise, and to keep pushing toward improving you. I reemphasize that. Love and respect yourself enough to do those things. This channel prescribes a life that is fit, formidable, and fantastic. You all know my spiel. There's nothing fit or formidable about living such a health risk, especially not when you are negatively influencing the next generation as a parent with overweight or obese children, and thus perpetuating a problem. And there's certainly nothing fucking fantastic about any of that. The best part of all this is that it's preventable. So yes, you can change. You do not need to accept this, and you shouldn't. You need to put your damn foot down. Now, according to the AC Nielsen Co., the average American watches more than 4 hours of TV each day, or 28 hours per week, or basically it comes to 2 months of nonstop TV watching per year. In a 65-year life, that person will have spent 9 years glued to the tube. End quotes. I want to emphasize something there. 4 fucking hours a day on average. How about devoting even 30 minutes of that to some form of intense exercise? This is for all those people out there who say, I just don't have the time. And I know a number of them myself, oh, I just don't have the time. I'm so busy. I work and this and that. And then they sit there throwing back shitty food while staring at a fucking television about 2 hours a night. I can actually name examples, but I want to keep this respectful, so I won't. In quotes, the average American eats an average of 4.2 commercially prepared meals per week. In other words, as a nation, we eat out between 4 and 5 times a week on average. This number equates to 18.2 meals in an average month, even outside the home. End quotes. Emphasizing there, 4 to 5 fucking times a week. Now, I'm not saying that poor choices are made each time someone eats out, but given the current obesity problem, I'd say it's safe to assume that they are. Why not pick more healthful restaurants or more healthful choices in the restaurants? Or hell, prepare quality food at home and assume control. So those are 2 big things right there. But one more that a lot of people might probably scoff their nose at here, mostly because I am, and that is perhaps trying a plant-based diet, perhaps trying the vegan diet. According to research published in the International Journal of Obesity, in quotes, vegans had the lowest mean age-adjusted BMI, and meat eaters had the highest. This paper examined 37,875 men and women between the ages of 20 and 97. Pardon me. They included meat eaters, fish eaters, vegetarians, and vegans. So it was very varied. So it was varied across dietary habits. Anyhow, I could keep expounding upon this and end up regurgitating points to the point where I'm dry heaving, so to speak. So I'm going to really let it just rest there. I am sure that you get what I'm trying to express in this video. Don't accept where you are. Stop making excuses. Take responsibility. Don't hate on yourself or others. Just start improving. You possess the power to positively change your life. Now, if you have anything you want to add to this or something you want to ask or share or what have you, please do drop it in the comments below. Otherwise, I'll see you guys on Monday for a regularly scheduled episode. Until then, stay fit, stay formidable, and stay fantastic. See you around.